Have you ever stopped to think that while we're still trying to understand our own bodies, there are creatures out there doing things that seem straight out of a sci-fi movie? Forget superheroes. In the animal kingdom, the real Avengers are hiding underwater, atop trees, and even in the most overlooked corners of the planet. Some animals see the world as if through X-ray glasses. Others literally punch with the force of a bullet. There's even one that shapeshifts like a cartoon character. And the scariest part? Science still can't fully explain how some of these abilities actually work. So, get ready, because what you're about to see will blow your mind and might make you look at the natural world with completely new eyes. Let's go? Picture a professional boxer landing a punch at 80 km/h. Now imagine that coming from a crustacean just a few centimeters long. That's the mantis shrimp, also known as the boxer of the reefs. This little guy throws one of the fastest, most violent punches in the animal kingdom, powerful enough to shatter shells, crack aquarium glass, and even injure unsuspecting divers. The impact is so intense that it creates heat, bubbles, and even flashes of light, all within a blink. But the real kicker? The punch causes a shockwave, a burst of energy from collapsing bubbles called cavitation. So even if it misses, the aftershock can still hit the target. It's like having two punches in one. Scientists have studied this with the hope of replicating it in human tech. Imagine this in weapons, prosthetics, or robotics. And we haven't even mentioned the eyes. The mantis shrimp can see ultraviolet and polarized light, essentially viewing the world in dimensions we can even comprehend. A creature that punches like a bullet and sees beyond human reality. Unreal, right? But the next animal? It's not just an imitator, it's a full-on shapeshifter. Deep in Southeast Asian waters lives the mimic octopus, the ultimate master of disguise. Unlike most octopuses that simply change color to blend in, this one takes it to another level. It can impersonate more than 15 different species, in both form and movement, just to confuse predators or lure prey. For instance, when it feels threatened, it becomes a venomous sea snake, slithering its body in an S shape. Or it morphs into a lionfish, puffing out its arms like venomous fins. And sometimes it glides along the seafloor like a stingray. It's like watching an aquatic shapeshifter, a creature that weaponizes fear through impersonation. What's wild is that it seems to choose what to imitate based on its predator. If it's up against a snake-fearing enemy, it turns into a snake. If the predator avoids lionfish, it plays that card. That's pure strategic intelligence. How does a boneless creature with a walnut-sized brain pull this off? Still a mystery. And the next animal? It doesn't grow up, literally, but it can regenerate just about anything, including parts of its brain. The axolotl, or water monster, looks like it was designed in a video game. Native to lakes in Mexico, this amphibian never fully grows up. It stays in its juvenile state forever, with frilly external gills and a cartoonish grin that makes it look like a mystical creature. But the real jaw-dropper? It can regenerate entire limbs, legs, tail, eyes, even parts of its brain and spinal cord. Yes, brain. Scientists are obsessed with understanding how this little creature pulls off such feats of regeneration, hoping to one day apply that knowledge to human medicine. Imagine regrowing a lost limb. No prosthetics, no surgery, just pure biology. Despite being critically endangered, the axolotl has become a global symbol of resilience. It's fragile, and yet holds some of biology's most powerful secrets. A living enigma. But if you think that's wild, wait until you meet the creature that survives boiling heat, freezing cold, and space itself. Meet the tardigrade. A microscopic animal that looks like a plush toy but behaves like a sci-fi horror character. Found in moss, lichen, and even household gutters, the tardigrade is practically indestructible. It can survive temperatures from 272 Kelvin to over 150 degrees. It shrugs off radiation levels lethal to all other life. It even survived being exposed to outer space. In 2007, scientists sent tardigrades into orbit, exposed them to the vacuum of space with no oxygen, full radiation, and they survived. How? When things get extreme, the tardigrade enters a state called cryptobiosis. It basically shuts down its metabolism to near zero, waiting in suspended animation for conditions to improve. This biological pause button has huge implications. If tardigrades can live in space, maybe life out there isn't just possible. Maybe it's probable. They're now symbols of extreme survival, reshaping how we think about life's limits. But while the tardigrade masters time, the next creature rewrites space itself, seeing in slow motion and with nearly 360-degree vision. At first glance, the dragonfly seems like just another beautiful insect. But in reality, it's one of the most efficient predators on Earth. While most hunters miss half their attacks, the dragonfly hits its target over 95% of the time. That's not instinct. That's mathematical precision. It can calculate a prey's path in real time and adjust its own flight trajectory accordingly. It sees into the future, one wing beat at a time. Speaking of wings, each of its 4 wings can move independently, allowing it to hover, fly backwards, or pivot mid-air. But its real superpower is in the eyes. Dragonflies have massive compound eyes, with up to 30,000 lenses. This gives them near-complete 360-degree vision and the ability to detect movement that humans simply can't see. It's like they view time in slow motion. They're fossilized time travelers around for over 300 million years. And while they dominate the skies, the next animal takes precision to a whole new level, using water as a weapon. In the mangroves of Southeast Asia, a small fish has figured out how to shoot down prey above water. It's called the archerfish, and yes, it literally spits jets of water at insects and spiders perched on branches. A direct hit knocks the prey into the water, where the fish gobbles it up in seconds. But it's not random spitting. The archerfish adjusts for angle, distance, and even light refraction, the way light bends between water and air. Somehow, it calculates the exact shot needed. Even more incredible, it learns from experience, becoming more accurate over time. It's a living lesson in ballistics, physics, and adaptation, all packed into a brain smaller than a bean. And speaking of adaptation, the next creature builds underwater fortresses using silk and lives in a bubble it created from scratch. The diving bell spider doesn't spin webs to catch prey like its land-dwelling cousins. No, it builds a silken dome underwater and fills it with air collected from the surface. This diving bell becomes its home, where it eats, sleeps, and reproduces. Essentially, it lives submerged with its own portable oxygen tank. It collects bubbles on the tiny hairs of its abdomen, swims down, and releases the air into the bell. Even more impressive, the structure allows gas exchange, keeping the oxygen levels stable. Scientists study this natural air pump system for applications in underwater engineering and nanotech. A spider, barely the size of a coin, mastering physics and engineering while most humans still struggle with IKEA furniture. But now, meet the animal that took armor to a whole new level, with a body made of metal. Far below the ocean's surface, in hydrothermal vents full of sulfur and pressure, lives a creature that shouldn't exist. The scaly-foot gastropod, or iron snail, literally coats its shell with iron. That's right, it grows metal armor. And its teeth, made of magnetite, a mineral found in compasses. This makes them among the hardest biological materials ever discovered. It's slow, it's ugly, but it's a beast. Its body has been studied by NASA for inspiration in building deep-sea robots. Proof that nature, when pushed to the edge, doesn't crumble. It innovates. And speaking of innovation, the next creature doesn't just sing. It remixes the soundtrack of the forest. In Australia lives the lyrebird. a songbird with unmatched vocal mimicry. It doesn't just imitate other birds, it copies cameras, car alarms, chainsaws, even human voices. And it does it so perfectly that even high-tech recording devices can't tell the difference. During mating season, it puts on a full audio performance. It blends the calls of multiple species, adds environmental sounds, and creates a one-bird symphony. Some have even been recorded mimicking construction sounds from nearby development sites. It's a natural DJ, remixing reality with stunning precision. But the real mystery? How does it control its voice so precisely? And why does it retain and repeat human-made sounds? The answers remain elusive, and if you think that's the end, wait till you meet the animal that dies, only to come back to life. Over and over again. Meet Turritopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. When faced with injury, starvation, or environmental stress, it doesn't die. Instead, it transforms. It reverts its cells back to their earliest form and starts over. Essentially, it resets its life again and again. This ability is called transdifferentiation, where mature cells convert into other types of cells. Something modern medicine is still trying to figure out. The jellyfish isn't indestructible. It can still be eaten or infected, but if left alone, it can live forever. A biological loop, eternal youth. Scientists hope to unlock its secrets to one day regenerate human tissues, organs, maybe even slow aging. A tiny, transparent creature hiding in plain sight, possibly holding the key to immortality. It's not science fiction, it's happening, right now, all around us. So, who needs fantasy when real life is this unbelievable?